We give thanks as we gather together. We give thanks for all that we have, for all of our friends, for everyone around us, for sunny day, sunshiny day, melody, every day. We give thanks.
That was awesome.
Oh,
Let's
why,
give
thank
some
you.
thanks to Jim.
Oh, my pleasure.
Woohoo! And Cole. Let's give him some love. How y'all feeling tonight? Good to see you. So I'm going to ask that y'all rise and sing We Welcome. I know, I never ask you to stand up, huh? Here we go. Get that energy in that body. Come on in. We welcome. We welcome. We welcome you.
Better energy this way.
Come on in. We welcome. We welcome. We welcome you.
Let go.
Be free. Come on in and take a seat. We're glad you're here. Hey, spreading love, joy, and cheer. So
come on in.
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 Come on in. We welcome you.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in. Come on in. We welcome you. Let go. Be free. Come on in and take a seat. We're glad you're here. We're spreading love, joy, and cheer. So come on in.
We will.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in. We welcome you.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in. Come on in. We welcome you.
Come on in.
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 Come on in. We welcome you.
Come on in.
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 Come on in. We welcome you. Come on in. Thank y'all. Nice little energy flowing through the body, out through the vocal cords. Reveal, reveal the love inside of me. Reveal the love that I was meant to be. And every time I open up, love is what I see. Reveal the love in me. Reveal, reveal the peace inside of me. Oh, reveal the peace that I was meant to be. And every time I open up, peace is what I see. Reveal the peace in me. The joy. Reveal, reveal the joy inside of me. Reveal the joy that I was meant to be. And every time I open up, joy is what I see. Reveal the joy in me. Reveal, reveal the love inside of me. Reveal the love that I was meant to be. And every time
I open up,
yeah, love.
love is what I see.
Oh yeah. And
Every time I open up,
peace.
peace is what I see.
Yep. And every time I I see. Reveal the love in me.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Cole. Thank you, Sonny. Once again, I get to say a big thank you for the music that brings us here, pulls us in, brings us to that space where we can go into prayer and start this night in a wonderful way. And so I do that with my breath. I take in all that I need. I release all that is no longer necessary. And I remember who I am. I remember that life is life in God. I remember that everything is eternal. I remember that all are one, and that all that is ever needed, all that is ever called for, yearned for, desired in any way, is here but for the asking, is here but for that use of the law, that law that says, okay, it's yours. Because God is the power and the presence that brought it all here, the creative expression that moved the forces of everything to create each one in this room. And we are so blessed, blessed to be here, blessed to have this time and this space, blessed to be in it with each other, creating more and more of that rising energy of the love of God. And so knowing that and feeling the grace and the ease and the magical flow of that, I simply say thank you and offer blessing and know that everything is here for God is here. And so it is. Welcome to the Wednesday night revealing experience. It's November, and it's November 19th, and we have been getting booked up for almost a full 10 months, 11 months. Ooh, 11 months, that's a long time. We've been reading Science of Mind, we have been moving through the pages, and then we've been listening to wonderful messages connected to that. And so as we continue that, we can see the sense of things unfolding into December. And so tonight I'd like to read from Ernest Holmes' book, This Thing Called You. It's the book that I run to when I'm in what my dad used to call a snit. So I get in a snit about something and I can't get unsnitted. And so that's my space where I go, everything I need to feel and sense and remember is here, right here. And so this passage is about that for me tonight. Knowing that there is but one spirit in which everyone lives, moves, and has being, you are to feel this spirit not only in your consciousness, but in all your affairs. You are to hold conscious communion with this spirit in humanity. In a hand clasp, you can feel its warmth and color. In the exchange of thought, you are to feel the presence of the divine. You are to sense it in everything. You are united with all. You are one with the eternal light itself. The presence of spirit within you blesses everyone you meet, tends to heal everything you touch, brings gladness into the life of everyone you contact. Therefore, you are a blessing to yourself, to mankind, and to the day in which you live. Today, I uncover the perfection within me. In its fullness, I reveal the indwelling kingdom. I look out upon the world of my affairs, knowing that the spirit within me makes my way both immediate and easy. I know there is nothing in me that could possibly obstruct or withhold the divine circuit of light and the divine circuit of life and love which good is. My word dissolves every negative thought or impulse that could throw a shadow over my perfection. Good flows through me to all. Good shines through my thoughts and actions. Good harmonizes my body so that it is revitalized and manifests perfection in every cell, in every organ, in every function. God harmonizes my mind so that love sings joyously in my heart. I am completely conscious of all good in me, around me, and all that is. I am in complete unity with good. What thought has produced, thought can change. Knowing this, having confidence in my ability to use the law and use it daily for specific purposes, gradually I build up an unshakable faith, both in the law and in the possibility of demonstrating it. There's no doubt in me, no uncertainty rising through me. My mind rejoices in certainty and in assurance. I confidently expect that my word shall not return unto me void. Therefore today I declare that the law of the Lord is perfect in everything I do. It will externalize happiness. It will bring every good thing to me. Today I am inwardly aware that there is a secret way of the soul. There is a secret pathway of peace. There is an invisible presence forever externalizing itself for me and through me. Today I believe in divine guidance. I know not only that all is well within my soul, my spirit, and my mind, but also all is well with my affairs. So with that, we have a title to match up with that this evening. It's called, Don't Think About It. So with that, we'll bring up Reverend Sunshine and we'll see what that's all about.
Thank you so much. This is our practitioner, Jan Hartman, everyone. Give her some more love. What a great reading and a great prayer. Hi, everybody. How's it going tonight? Excellent, excellent, excellent. I love Wednesdays. I see some new faces, which I'm really excited about. And then I see some faces that I haven't seen in a little bit. And I'm really excited about that. And then the faces that have been here for a few weeks in a row, I'm really excited about that too. I'm really glad you're here. Can you tell? Yeah. You know, my talk title, Don't Think About It, is based on today's reading out of the Science of Mind book, where Ernest Holmes, like in his book, This Thing Called You, This Thing Called It, and all of the other great books that contain his writings, what he continuously reminds us is that what we think about, we bring about. That what we entertain mentally is what manifests in physical form. Specifically today, he talked about not entertaining lack, limitation, doubt, fear, worry, war, illness, things like that. But it's pretty funny because if I tell you right now, don't think about a big elephant. It's kind of hard, right? Not to think about that big elephant or to imagine, an elephant in the room, a pink elephant. Maybe you can hear the elephant trumpeting in your mind when I tell you not to think about an elephant. Today, Sonny and I were talking about the elephants that we witnessed in South Africa. It'll come to mind only because I'm telling you, don't think about it. Don't think about it. So it's interesting that as our philosophy evolves, as we progress, as we take a look at some of the basic texts and the writings that have come forth from this brilliance that we know to have been Ernest Holmes, that it is just the basis for our evolution, our spiritual growth, our unfoldment. Ernest Holmes talks about it all the time. He talks about how we are open at the top, meaning sky's not the limit, but that there is this openness, this vast opportunity for us to know the truth, and for us to know the truth beyond what has been known today, beyond what he knew, beyond what will be known tomorrow. And as I think about what not to think about or what not to entertain, I'm reminded of an exercise that I do with our young people on the high school campuses. You know, I spend 3 days with them, and we're doing human relations. We're talking about race and racism and sexism, and we're talking about oppression and discrimination and things of that nature. And they're telling me stories about how they experience life and how they might experience these things on their school campus. And on the last day, I take them through an exercise that we call the victory circle. And the victory circle is an opportunity for them to sit and gently close their eyes if they're comfortable and just imagine their ideal school. To imagine their ideal day, what that might look like and feel like. And so I guide them through this process of what it's like in the mornings, getting ready to go to school, and what they're thinking and feeling, because remember, it's your ideal day. It is the day that is amazing and awesome, and that everything is coming together for your highest. Guide them through after school programs, going back home, and when they get back home, I'm sitting in their living room asking them, so what did you see? What did it feel like? And I invite them to open their eyes and to begin to tell me and express to me what it is that they experienced during that kind of guided ideal day. And lots of times, what I hear is, well, there's no graffiti. Well, if there's no graffiti, how do you see no graffiti? What do you see? And that's the key. If there's no limitation, if there's no lack, if there's no doubt, if there's no fear, then what is there? So we begin to shift the perspective from there's no violence to, I experience peace. I experience a tranquil atmosphere. Our classrooms are serene and calm. Our teachers are calm. They talk to us in a calm way. In a way, it's like, don't think about it. Don't think about what you don't see, because there's probably no such thing as what we don't see. Because if we don't see it in the physical realm, we're seeing it in our mind's eye. Like, wow, there's no graffiti on that wall. But I'm probably picturing some graffiti that I've seen before, and so, right? And so if it's not there, what's there is beauty. Great posters that affirm who I am and what life is really about, that, remind me of my multiplication table or algebra, or remind me of a place that I might want to visit in the near future. I wonder if I've been going at this all wrong. I wonder for a moment if I just tell you, don't think about how great your life is and how amazing and awesome you are. Don't think about your life is that life that God is. Don't think about how perfect your life is. If in fact you'll kind of think about, yeah, that's right. What does she mean don't think about it? I can't help it. It is who I am, right? I wonder if I kind of do the reverse psychology thing on you, if you would in fact just embrace the real truth of who we are. Not just who you are, but who we are as a collective, as a whole, as a people. And I wonder, too, how sometimes when life gets challenging, because, some of us have been on this path for a little bit. And we kind of go, yeah, you know what, I'm doing pretty good. I've been reading, the Science of Mind book, I've been kind of getting this idea, this thought, like, hey, my life is the way God shows up on this planet. My life is life. My life is joyous and perfect, and I attract that. And as a matter of fact, wow, just unexpectedly, I get a check in the mail, or I'm thinking about somebody, and sure enough, the phone rings, and it's them, and it was like, I was just about to call you. Things start falling into place, and there's this thing that we kind of maybe call synchronicity or coincidence. But we kind of go, yeah, I've been trying to pray and meditate and call forth and affirm, and I've been doing this thing, and, it's kind of working. Until we hit a bump in the road, until there's a hiccup, until the bananas hit the fan, and then it's all over the place, right? It's nothing worse than flying bananas all over the place, right? And it's in those times that we get to ask ourselves, what am I thinking about? What am I entertaining? What are the things that I'm silently telling myself when things get rough? When things are kind of going a little bit sideways and I feel like I have no control. Am I thinking, this Science of Mind stuff doesn't work? Am I thinking, I was just kind of waiting for the shoe to fall? Or what was I thinking? I was thinking that I was, actually achieving something in life. When we get to those places, that is when it is so, so important for us to keep our eyes on the prize, to keep our eye focused, to be on point, to remember the truth of who we are. Sometimes for some of us, we might think, I'm on this path. Everything should be unfolding in a perfect way, and everything should be going my way now. Like, wow, I'm doing this thing. I'm really dedicating a lot of time. I'm reading. I'm in a class now, and life should be happening for me, and everything should be falling in place. And as a matter of fact, I have to call up the Grand Marshal. They should be having a parade for me. As much stuff as I'm doing and being. And sure enough, when things kind of go a little bit sideways, it's kind of like, wow, we maybe start beating up on ourselves. What was I thinking? Was I really just fooling myself? And it's in those times that we have choices as to what we entertain, what we play in our minds over and over and over again. Whether it's that broken record from our childhood, some message that we picked up and carried with us and thought, oh yeah, this is the truth about who I am, and it's really not. Or instead, we can begin to see life as this beautiful puzzle. I remember when I was new at Agape, there was an exercise that we did, and at the door, everybody got a piece of puzzle, a puzzle piece. And we were all just kind of wondering, during the workshop, what is this for and what's this about? And at the end, it was revealed to us that we each held a piece to a puzzle, and we got to see the beautiful picture that was this puzzle. I didn't know which piece I was exactly, but I knew, and my lesson was that without that specific piece, the puzzle would not be whole. That I have a part to play in it. That I am a part of the collective. And so it is also with life, though. Sometimes our own personal puzzle is being assembled. You know, today's puzzle pieces kind of go in. And yet, if we kind of look at the breadth of our life and our experience, we might think that there's something missing. Or, golly, you know, like I wasn't expecting this to happen. Like this can't be a puzzle piece to my puzzle. Maybe this piece goes to Jan's puzzle. Or Bob's puzzle. Or Dennis's puzzle. Like this one can't be my puzzle piece. It's ugly. It's got a weird shape. It doesn't fit what I thought my breath of life is supposed to be. It may be a loss of a job or loss of health. It could be the breakup of a relationship. It could be a challenge, a physical challenge, a mental health challenge. It could be something that we say to ourselves, but this does not belong, like this can't be mine. But it is, Blanche. It is. And what do we do with that? What do we do with that? Do we say, yes, it's mine, and embrace it and maybe try to find where it fits or how it fits? Do we try to discard it or give it to somebody else? Or do we recognize it for the gift that it is? That it is an opportunity for us to rise to knowing the truth of who we are. For us to know that there's one power, one presence, one life, that life is God, is this energetic, this non-personal but very personal to me, energetic and force, creative intelligence, and that it has created me out of it. It has created everything out of it. Therefore, what's true of this creative intelligence is my truth. It's my opportunity to know that even though I may have lost this job or lost a relationship or have an experience of ill health or that something is happening, I get an opportunity to stand in this truth and don't think about the lack, the limitation, the doubt, the fear, the wars, the rumors of wars, not think about that kind of stuff, but to begin to really anchor my thought process and my belief system in that which is the truth of who I am, in that which is the truth of you. So even when you are acting ugly, or being mean to me, or being mean to someone else, or maybe you're not showing up as your best self, what I get to know, instead of going behind your back and talking to my friend, oh, did you see the way she was acting? She was just so mean. Oh, and she calls herself a practitioner. Oh, my gosh. You know, like instead of going there with that, why don't I just stand in the truth and know this is the way God is showing up right now, and I know that this is not the allness of who she is or who he is. Maybe at one point, so-and-so is forgetting the truth of who they are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand in the gap between them and the truth. I'm going to stand in that gap, and I'm going to know the truth for and about my brother or my sister or my friend or my neighbor instead of talking about him or her. But I'm going to stand in that gap, and I'm going to know the truth about them. They're right where they are. This is the infinite intelligence is who and what they are. And that instead of me stooping down to a level of lack or limitation or doubt and fear, that I am actually rising the vibration so that my beloved community, my beloved brother or sister, my beloved friend or neighbor is actually being called forth to rise to their truth, to rise to their greatness. Is it easy? Not always. Does it get easier? You bet. You bet. Because when this becomes a way of life for us, when this becomes the way we operate, when this becomes our MO and our way of being, then it's just our way of being. That irrespective and regardless of the behavior, that we're standing in that truth and that we're knowing the truth about ourselves and about our mirror and our mirrors. Because that's exactly what what Ernest Holmes talks about. He talks about life being a mirror for us. He said that today in today's writing. Where is it? Right here. One should never allow himself to think of or talk about limitation or poverty. Life is like a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. So, So what I think of you, who wants to finish that for me, right? What I think of you is really a reflection of what I think of myself. So I want to be saying, oh, how beautiful and wonderful and marvelous and intelligent you are. I want to be calling you the most magnificent names I can possibly come up with. I want to be knowing the highest truth for and about you that I can possibly think of. Because life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker. Well, let me just put me. Life is a mirror and will reflect back to me what I think into it. What I think into it. So that even means that even without you in the picture, if I'm thinking and entertaining, and for me, I like to call it courting. You know, when you like somebody and you spend some time with them and you really want to hang out, whether it's a friend or whether it's a love interest, right? It's like you find somebody that you think, oh, this might be a nice friend. You know, you start calling that person, or you start hanging out with that person after school or after work or whatever it is. You start spending time like, oh, this person's pretty cool. You start investing time. There's an investment. There's an investment there. You have a stake in that relationship. We're going to go to GameStop after school. We're going to go to dinner. We're going to go to a movie. We're going to go surfing. We're joining the knitting club. I mean, whatever it is. When we invest time with people, with things, with opportunities, if we were to invest that kind of time, aka courting spirit, courting our knowledge and our communion in that which is the truth of who we are. If I were that interested in my own spiritual evolution and growth, wow. Think about the person that you've, have done the most for to capture their heart or their attention or their love or just wanted to spend some time with, and think about how smitten you were about it. You know? Think about how much time or energy you spent maybe learning a computer program or learning how to play pool or learning how to surf or learning how to play softball or learning how to knit or do whatever it is. Think about that kind of dedication and time that you've done for this person, for the attention of this person, or just to even gain a specific skill or knowledge. And imagine that that was the kind of energy and that we put that kind of energetic into knowing our truth and to thinking in a grand way. To thinking in a grand way and seeing then in a grand way who we are and what life is really all about. I have an opportunity to hire someone who would do some work around the house and around our property. His name is Daniel. And my experience with him was amazing. And he taught me so much, because my experience with contractors or handymen or people who come to kind of, fix something, they'd kind of go, oh, yeah, that light is really messed up. Who installed that? They did it all wrong. Like that thing is tweaked and they should have actually placed it this way. And instead, Danielle would come to the house and I'd tell him the things that I needed to have fixed, but he would walk throughout the property and go, wow, that's a beautiful fountain. Who put that in? It's very leveled. Oh, and the way the water sounds. Whoever did that did a really good job. What? Like, I thought to myself, who does that? He does. It has become such a way of life for him that instead of looking to point out the flaws, instead of looking to point out the limitation, instead of looking to pick and pick and pick, and this is what's wrong with you and you and you and you, instead he was going around going, this is what's right with this and what's right with this, and this is what's beautiful about you, and this is what's great about you. And the more and more I sat with just the way he was, I felt so wonderful. He wasn't coming to destroy, but he was coming to lift. And those are the kind of people I want to be around. I want to be around people who lift me up, who lift up the energetic of the people around them, not because they're lying to you, not because they're telling you what a great dress and it is hideous, but because they are finding these truths about you and they're just illuminating them. They're reminding you of them. If that's who we can become in our daily life, if we can indeed begin to recognize that this is who we are, and not only do it for ourselves, to where we are lifting ourselves up, but that we begin to also do it with others. I've been doing a lot of work in restorative justice and having restorative conversations. And the reason it's called restorative is because it's just a different way of looking at it, kind of like how Danielle talks about work that's done around the property. And the reason right now it's kind of like we call it restorative because it's really about trying to restore folks to their wholeness, to remind them of the truth of who they are. It's a little scary to call it transformational justice or transformative justice, right? But so we're restoring folks to their wholeness. So it's interesting that the conversation and the way that it is framed is really about holding one another accountable, talking about how we feel, but also looking and bringing out the best in folks. And some of us already do that. Some of us have already been taught that. Like, before you give a criticism, give a compliment. I don't like to call it a criticism. I like to call it feedback. So before you give feedback, talk to whomever you're talking about what's so right. Tell that person how much you love them, how glad you are to see them, how glad you are that they're in your life, even though they're late for the 5th time in a row. Share about what your need is for timeliness and why it's important to you and what you need from them. And in this way, we begin to really lift each other up. We begin to not be that drowning person in a lake or in the ocean or in a river, but as a result of being with one another, we feel buoyed. We feel like we're floating, like, no, I'm not drowning anymore. I've just encountered myself in this other person, and they reminded me of the truth of who I am. They saw that even through all the muck and the junk and all of the circumstances and situations, they know and they see the truth of who I am. They know what I'm capable of doing and being, and they lift me up, even though I frustrated them, even though I I did something that was upsetting to them. It's interesting to begin to have this shift in our consciousness, in our mentality, in the way we are with one another. Don't think about the lack, the limitation, the way people are behaving. Don't think about that. But in fact, think about and entertain that your life is the way that life is expressing on this planet. That your life is the grand divine way that God is showing up on this planet. That each and every life is the same. Meaning each and every life is the way that God is expressing on this planet. And begin to treat one another and treat yourself from that place. When you find yourself in trouble, when you find yourself thinking this puzzle piece doesn't fit my puzzle of life, think of it as a gift and find the place where it belongs. Because right after that, the next piece that goes into that piece, that interlocks with that piece, is that piece that we go, oh yeah, now that's what I'm about. But without the one to interlock to, we don't have that opportunity to go, yeah, that's the sweetness I was looking for. That's the sweet spot that I was looking for. Yes, this is the type of appreciation I give and I receive. So we have these opportunities to grow. We have these opportunities to learn. And we have these opportunities so that we may step up and step into our greater truth, that we might know our life as a life of God. So let's just go into the silence for a moment. And as we simply just clear our minds, our laps, our surroundings for a small time in the stillness and the silence. I turn back to the words of Ernest Holmes. And if I remember these words and I remember this truth about who I am, if I entertain this, then I find that everything always flows together for my highest good and the highest good of all around me. Ernest Holmes says there is one infinite mind from which all things come. This mind is through, in, and around me. It is the only mind there is, and every time mankind thinks, he uses this power and presence. There's one infinite spirit, and every time man says, I am, he proclaims it. There's one infinite substance. And every time mankind moves, he moves in it. There's only one infinite law. And every time mankind thinks, he sets this law in motion. There's one infinite God. And every time mankind speaks to this God, he receives a direct answer. One. I am God and there's nothing else. There's one limitless life which returns to the thinker exactly what he thinks into it. One. I am one with this power and this presence. And that which is true of life, of God, of love, of peace, of joy, of abundance, of clarity, of power, of presence, of wisdom, of truth, of joy is true of me.
flows. Good shines. Good flows through me. Through me as me.
And so I purposefully think my life is amazing. My life is abundant, filled with joy, beauty, and creativity. My life is filled with clarity and kindness and peace and power and love. My life is filled with wonderful people who are honest and truthful, who enjoy life, who are filled with love. I'm surrounded by love and joy and peace and clarity. All of my affairs are in order. Everything is coming together for my highest good. Health is mine and now. I see myself moving and flowing. Every organ, every action, every cell in my body, everything is working together for my highest good. There is perfect elimination and absorption. Everything comes together for my good. And as it comes together for my good, I know that there is no individual good, but there is the good of the collective. So as it is happening for one, it is happening for all. So in the life of my brothers and sisters, my families, my friends, the divine humanity, I consciously think and see in my mind's eye peace in the land, peace in Ferguson, peace in all the world, peace in my home, peace in my mind, my neighborhoods. See abundance, that there's enough food, enough water, enough supply to feed and comfort all of humanity. I begin to entertain that. Begin to see smiling faces in my ideal day. Begin to see me interacting with neighbors and strangers who are really my brothers and sisters that I haven't met yet. And exchanging love and that energetic of love. For I can see beyond the surface, and I can truly say, I know who you really are. You are the way, that love, that life that God is expressing on this planet. And I care. And I spend time thinking about that, seeing it in my mind's eye, and then living from that place. Because I believe that it is indeed possible, that it is indeed our divine destiny, that we awaken to this truth. And so from this place, I'm simply calling forth our health, our wholeness, peace, our abundance, love, joy, beauty, and creativity in our life, as our life, and that we experience this to the fullest degree, being free of all discord and entertaining only God. Entertaining God only. Entertaining peace, truth, and love. So we give thanks. And together the community says, and so it is. Amen. Welcome back. Thank you, Jim. That was beautiful. Thank you. Mm-hmm. So it's our conscious giving time. I'd like to invite Melissa and Dennis up. Thank you so much for your sacred service week after week. What great consciousness you have. I love their consciousness because they have set themselves up. They have set themselves up that every week they pick up this little basket, and then every week it just gets filled with gifts and tithes and offerings, and that they get to participate in that flow and they get to witness that flow. So thank you so much for your consciousness. It is our conscious giving time now for us to share with our spiritual community our financial blessings, that which we brought forth to share, knowing that Seaside is a beautiful spiritual community that is indeed a great steward with what it is given, and that we use that which we are given not only for our programs and our services, but that our doors are kept open, that anyone may come and hear the message and have revealed to them the truth of who they are. So thank you so much for your generosity, for your generous hearts, for the way that you give, for the way that you stretch in your giving. And thank you so much for making Seaside your home. So as you take your gifts, your tithes, your offerings, that which you brought to share with the spiritual community, you can simply hold it over your heart as a sign of love, simply becoming grateful that this financial blessing has come your way in the first place, and that you're just simply taking a portion of what you've been given and you're simply passing it forward through to Seaside. So give it your own blessing, and as you drop it in the basket, know that as you give, you receive even to a bigger degree, larger and larger and larger. So we simply bless these gifts, these tithes, these offerings, knowing that they are used for our highest good as a collective. And so it is. Amen. Go forth, ushers. Multiply this consciousness. And of course, as you give, you receive. So open your hearts and receive the beautiful music of our music team, Cole Miller, Jim Bianchi, and the beautiful Sunny Daye.
Let's give Reverend Sunshine some more love, yeah? If you believe within your heart, you'll know that no one can change the path that you must go. Believe what you feel and know you're right because the time will come around when you'll say it's yours. Believe you have a right to be. Believe you can make time stand still. And from the moment you try, believe, and you'll be there. Believe in yourself right from the start. You have brains and you have a heart, and you'll have courage to last your whole life through. Ooh. Believe in yourself. Just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself as I believe in you. Oh, believe in yourself right from the start. Believe in all the magic that's inside your heart. Believe all these things, not because I told you to. Believe in yourself. Oh, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself as I believe in you.
That's Sunny Daye, Jim Bianchi,
Yes,
and
Sunny.
Cole Miller.
Thank
Beautiful job. Thank you.
Thank you.
I felt it. You felt it too. This is the time in our evening that we're at the top of the hour, but it's so imperative and so important to hear from one another. This is a time where we get an opportunity to hear from you. And something that was like, wow, a light bulb that went off. Yeah, there we go. A light bulb went off right here. Hey, beloved, how are you?
Hello,
Stand up and
fantastic.
tell everybody your name.
Hi, my name's Carrie. My partner Diane and I were fortunate enough last weekend to go to Oprah's Get the Life You Want tour, which was fantastic. And to spend time with over 10,000 people in the same room, like-minded, that energy to say awesome doesn't shed a light. But something she shared, there was an exercise that we did that kind of hits home with the message tonight and this week. And that is she would ask her audience after the Oprah show, what do you want? And most people just say, I want to be happy. And so she would say, what does that look like? And people have a difficult time deciding what that looks like. And we're learning that we manifest and the vision is important and the more details. And an exercise we did said, picture someone that you love. Could be your partner, your child, a friend, a neighbor, and write down everything you want for their life. Be as specific as possible. The home they live in, the car they drive, the job they have, the friends, the feelings, the health, the laughter, in all the detail. And it's very easy, and we were writing for a very long time, and at the end of the exercise, what we realized was this is what we want for ourselves, and that you can't wish or want something for someone you love that you don't want for yourself. And so it was just that exercise just hit me tonight with your message. So thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you, Carrie. All right. Wow. Anybody else? Any burning desires? I think that said it all. Wow. I love when we get a chance to hear from folks in our community, because it just reminds me of the truth of who we are, and that we're all revealers of truth. And it's just a beautiful thing to hear from one another, what we learn, what we pick up, what we're doing, how we're doing, so that we can continue to hold each other up and lift each other up and encourage one another. So, thank you, Ginny. Ginny's our coordinator. She makes sure everything runs smoothly. Thank you so much for your service. I so appreciate you. Tonight on sound, we have Ed Reeves. Ed Reeves, thank you, beloved. We sound marvelous, darling, marvelous. And tonight behind the camera, we have Greg, and we have Tim as well, who makes sure that our home viewers and people at home can see us and be here with us. So if you're here with us tonight, thank you so much for your presence. And thank you so much, Greg and Tim, for your sacred service. I so appreciate that. Want to make sure that I thank our music team. Cole Miller, thank you, on percussion. Jim Bianchi on piano and vocals, thank you. And Sunny Daye, thank you, beloved. And of course, I want to make sure that I thank our practitioners. Our practitioners are these people who have had a lot of practice, and they've been taught to see the truth and kind of go to that place. And so representing our practitioner core, because we have lots of practitioners here at Seaside, representing our practitioner core tonight was our beloved Jan Hartman. Thank you so much, Jan, for your reading, your prayer, your consciousness. And also we have Victoria Grace, who's been in the back. I think that's her back there. Thank you so much for simply radiating the light and knowing the truth for and about our service. And mostly, thank you for showing up tonight, for being hungry enough and thirsty enough to seek and to recognize what is for you. So take what you've received tonight, try it on, feel it, work with it a little bit, and watch how your life transforms. Watch. All right. After service tonight, we're just going to kind of be in the family room, giving some hugs and just kind of chatting it up before we go home. So please make sure that you get a hug from me. I think, a hug for everybody in this room. So make sure that we just have a moment to fellowship in the back. I think that's it. So please rise. Come forth, Hallie. Come forth, come forth, come forth. Let's sing our prayer. It's in your bulletins, but you don't really need it. Just come and feel it with us.
This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices, in love we stand. This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices, in love we stand. We lift our voices, in love we stand. We lift our voices, in love we stand.
love you. I mean it. See you in the family room.
I had dreams so big and loud, a jump so wide, I touched the clouds. Whoa, oh, 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 whoa, oh, 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 oh. I stretched my hands out to the sky. We danced with monsters through the night. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Oh, I'm never gonna look back. Whoa, never gonna give up. Oh, please don't wake me now. Thank you. This is gonna be the best days of our life. Our lives. This is gonna be the best day of our life. Our life. This is gonna be the best day of our life. Our life, yeah, yeah, yeah. I had the new friends, and the sun came crashing in. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. And all the possibilities, no limits, just epiphanies. Oh, 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 oh. So I'm never gonna look back, never gonna give up. Just don't wake me now. Ooh, ooh, it's gonna be the best day of my life. I like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh. Best day of our life.